Hello and welcome back to Podcasting as Praxis. I'm Dave, my pronouns are he and him.
I'm Jamie, my pronouns are he and him.
I'm Rob, mine are he and him.
And that was left to make it sound like there would be a fourth person, but there isn't, so...
No, that's it. That's all you're getting, you know. Be thankful for what you do get.
The fourth mic is occupied by the background explosions that you can hear because we were stupid enough to record on the fifth. Like
celebrating War Christmas by having an actual war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fairness, we had no way to predict that this would happen on the 5th, so...
Yeah. What would upset veterans and, like, you know what I mean, our brave lads more, right? Is it seeing a lamppost somewhere in Britain that doesn't have a massive poppy, like, staple to it? Or, like, fucking just, you know what I mean, like... mortar explosions for like 2 solid weeks either side of this night.
I think it depends on where the mortar explosions land. I think like that you stand a solid chance that they'll love the fucking mortar explosions. Like if they land on your neighbor, you know, that they've been desperately trying to snitch out for not putting the bins out on time or, you know, not keeping their gravel raked or whatever the fuck people worry themselves about, then I think they probably like, you know, they'd probably call whoever's setting off the mortars to say, no, you need to go a little bit left, a little bit right.
I'm going to say you're more likely to get shit for raking your gravel. That's some foreign.
Is that not what people do with gravel?
Who the fuck?
Have you only ever seen gravel in a fucking Zen garden?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know. I assume that sometimes people rake gravel. I don't know. If you're a gravel raker, right in.
That's what we all do. We retire to the fucking pagoda just afterwards.
I would simply contemplate eternity, yeah. Anyway, speaking of contemplating eternity, shall we contemplate you know, something that will only be valid for the coming fiscal year, and that is I want to briefly talk about the fucking budget that got released because, you know, I promise you, Jamie, the back half of this episode, I have found a guy and a place for you that will delight and amuse you. That like this is you just have to get through this bit first. So basically, I watched the whole thing because you know I like that. I like hurting myself essentially. And if you want to skip everything else, basically this is like the one that Labour says, oh, we're spending the money to make economy grow and then everything will be better. And this is the most money we're going to spend like during our 5 years in office. And my takeaway is like, well, if this is the most you're doing, then we are all like fucked, basically.
It's funny as well because it was also the one budget that was going to be like way worse and way harsher on everyone than like apparently. Yeah. This was going to be the one that hurts the most. And yet this is the one where they said they would spend the most. And I don't know how that adds up.
Well, it depends on like who you are. Like if you're, you know, a tax dodging farmer, then, you know, the sky's fallen on your head. But, you know, quite frankly, I can only say, ha ha.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. I mean, and also some of the stuff that like it's definitely in the pipeline we just haven't seen yet is like they kept referring to like an upcoming white paper from the DWP while fucking Liz Kendall sat there like grinning like a fucking vampire. And I'm like, that's going to be really fucking bad. And the other thing is like, that's the main thing, but that like you won't see now, it'll just be like a continued immiseration, is they're not going to fund councils again for the next year at least.
No, why would you?
Well, you know, they are merely the service.
Why would you? They're not going to be Labour for that long, so.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Well done, Newcastle, for sure. Yeah, 100%. You know, and it's like, but yeah, they've put, you know, I've heard it again. This is like, again, I've heard this 1,000 times from every Labour and Tory administration now. Oh, we're putting the most money into the NHS that's ever been put into the NHS. And it's like, yeah, but as long as the internal market is there and like all the, you know, private vampires that are leeching the money out of the system, you can put more money in, but it's just like throwing money down the well by the end of the day. Like, I'm not saying don't do it, because like I think, you know, nurses and junior doctors should be paid more. That's good. But like, it's not structurally going to solve much, and it's only for 1 year. So like 3 years down the line, like your hospital's still going to be shit.
we're putting more money into the NHS than ever before. Computer, what is inflation?
Well, also that
don't ask your computer about inflation.
Yeah, apart from inflation, I think it's more like, we're putting more money, more water into this colander than ever before. It's like, yeah, hooray.
For more information, Google Rachel. No.
Do not.
No, do not. Do not.
That is not a place of honour.
No. No deeds there should be commemorated.
Anyway, yeah, the minimum wage might go up to £12. I think £12.23 or something. Maybe next year. I think it's next year.
Something
but,
shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
what is
still
it currently?
Shit. 11.
Slightly less. The thing I enjoy the most about the minimum wage thing is that they always refer to what the Low Pay Commission has told them the minimum wage should be. And it does feel like the Low Wage Commission has absolutely fucking done that.
I would say, after doing some, in-depth research of typing shit into Google, it's currently $11.44 an hour, and it's going to go to $12.21.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's inflation busting.
Yeah. Remember, during COVID when we were talking about how it really needed to be £15, and before that, it already needed to be £15. So hooray.
Yeah. Have we revised that figure up to an acceptable number? Is it like $17.50 now or something?
I mean, I'm sure somebody has, but I think $17.50 is probably a good place to start. Yeah.
I really appreciate that as the podcast goes on, the fireworks appear to be getting closer to David's house.
Oh, I fucking hope so. I might even open the window in the hope that one of them just fucking flies in and scoots me in the head. The one good thing that I did see with the wagey stuff was that they were going to start phasing out the age brackets.
Yeah, that's very, very good, because that's an insanity I've never fucking understood.
Good. Yeah. Unfortunately, didn't see anything about them doing that for fucking apprentices though, which is dog shit, because apprentices are paid fucking full poverty wage.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that we'll just see more rebranding of the same people as apprentice than anything else. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Some other bits. They're gonna tax vapes. So podcasting takes a huge L essentially. But we're gonna get a penny off your pint in the pub. A whole penny, and everyone.
That honestly, that fucking graphic they put out, a penny off pints. That means cheaper pints is the most fucking incredible bit of political messaging I think the world will ever see. Everyone else can just pack it up and go home now. The art form has absolutely reached its fucking nadir.
Yeah,
I like that the little calculator as well that the Guardian put out, and it was how much better off will you be? And the only way that I could find to actually increase the number of how more well off I would be was to increase the amount I drank. So,
well, I mean, have you tried it? This podcast is not medical advice.
It's just fucking grim. In no way, shape, or form should anyone for a second buy that as a fucking genuine, I will see no cunt is taking a penny off your fucking beer. And if anyone is going to do it, it's going to be fucking some cunt corporation like Wetherspoons who are going to say, we were able to blah blah, but in fact because of other reasons they'll actually be making more money off things anyway. It's just fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's not gonna fucking go anywhere. And also, but that's a genuinely good thing. They're gonna get rid of single-use vapes, which were a fucking disaster and just used up materials for no good reason. So that's
fine. No one's using lithium for anything, so it's not a concern.
Yeah. We have that to spare. And also the fucking fuel duty freeze, just last minute capitulation to the fucking Jeremy Clarkson cunts. Just go to hell. What a shit fucking
working people need their cars.
Well, they
don't need the bus. They can fuck themselves for the bus. The bus is for benefits claimants.
Yeah.
It's just simple. It's simple Thatcherism. Anyone on a bus over the age of like 6 or whatever the fuck that mad fucker said once is a loser. And Labour are just following their leader. So
yeah. Anyway, so
also, I love that the vibe in here tonight is like it sounds like, you know what I mean. We're podcasting from a fucking castle as a besieging army tries to batter down the main gate.
Anyway, the overall bet of like the entire budget seems to be like they will do enough stuff to sort of stabilize like the dying public realm, and then get investment going, and then next year, and then like in 5 years from now, when economy is growing so fast, like we will be able to have more nice things because there will be more growth and therefore more money in the economy, and therefore more taxes to spend.
Clearly horseshit, though, isn't it? Because like
it's
you know
wild
what I mean?
horseshit.
They're just going to do more austerity, and that's going to make things worse. So they'll have to do more austerity. But you know, the plan was never to do anything other than austerity. Whatever they might say about there's a black hole, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you don't do austerity, then you can't give your mates like fucking bits of like you know public services to run at a huge fucking markup. So you have to do that austerity. The only way to like, you know what I mean, get fucking Wes Streeton's backers to like carve up the NHS is if you take all the money out of the NHS so it falls over.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's all that. I wanted to talk about one more, like, slightly bigger thing, and then I'll get onto the delightful guy, the guy and his project that I found for you. So there was we talked about it before, but a whole bunch of podcasts ago, episode 182 for car loans at the edge of a cliff, if you're interested. So if you didn't know, car finance is like an enormous, huge thing in the UK. Like, according to the good article by Michael Bowe in The Telegraph that I read today, it's worth something like 100 billion a year in car loans. That's the size of the car loan market in the UK.
Cool.
That's because, like, again, you see the previous episode, but 9 out of 10 car loans, 9 out of 10 cars get sold not with cash or with anything else. They get sold as some variety of car loan. Last year, 2 million cars were bought on credit in the UK. So, you know, really huge amount of money and it's circulating through the sector. But what's been going on like until now
is what would stimulate the economy? But if they put in a new law where if you buy something on credit and then manage to hide for like 2 weeks, you don't have to pay it back.
Yeah.
Like Hunted, the TV show. Right.
I'm a lazy bastard at heart, but if there was money on the line, oh yeah, I could fucking disappear.
I mean, if you take out a loan and you buy like a fucking boat or something, you've got the entire Atlantic to hide out in.
It's true.
Yeah. You can even go through the Panama Canal and just like really just, you know, just disappear off the edge of the game map, basically.
Do you think orcas understand when the money you've used is effectively stolen?
I think so.
Like,
I think they're wise and noble
stolen
creatures.
brackets good as opposed to stolen brackets label.
Well, take out the loan to buy like a fucking, you know, a cargo ship so you can fill it with like cars you bought on tick. And then just sail that out.
No, you only do that if you have to save your brother from an insane English chair maker.
I feel like I half remember what you're talking about there, but
somebody who's listened to this will understand what I'm talking about. You know, right in if you did. Anyway, so what's been going on like until last week is that the people at the car dealership.
Wait, was that gone in 60 seconds?
Yes, there you go.
There we go.
Got in 60 seconds.
So what was happening on the dealer side, essentially, like how did salespeople and car dealerships in general get paid, is they were paid commissions for every car that they moved off the lot. And those commissions, you know, but like those commissions weren't... were paid basically by financing companies and car manufacturers based on the value of the loan that, you know, they sold along with the car. So like, they're not selling the value of the car, they're selling the value of the loan.
Yeah.
So of course, like the more cars, a car salesperson shoves out the door at the highest possible loan value, the richer the car dealer gets. Which
is this the new PFI?
Yes, it is.
PFI.
PPI.
PPI.
PPI, that's the one. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, PFI was when Blair wanked off all the hospitals, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah. So that naturally creates a conflict of interest between the dealership and the customer, because, you know, the dealership isn't necessarily looking out to give you the best possible loan deal. They're looking to give you the highest possible loan they can give you, because that makes them more money than not doing that. Also, as far as I understood from my reading, car dealers were actually not obliged to tell you that they were receiving payment from manufacturers or car financing companies.
That's right. The thing is, though, right, if the customers don't like this, they should just start their own car dealership.
Yeah. This is kind of strange, because you're talking about quite large amounts of money, new cars, and again, see the old episode 182 for the full thing. But like, car loans are quite valuable. They're like, you know, 5 figures is pretty standard. And in any other sector with like large amounts of money like that being loaned to you, mainly mortgages, but also other products, banks are obviously required to tell you like how much they're making, like what their profit edge is, and like also they are required to give you like the best value for the best loan that is the best for you. They are barred or technically barred from giving you like the highest loan that they can give you to make more money, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, like, society operates on the because of me they have a sign. Like,
exactly.
So, you know what I mean? If you can get into a previously unregulated market and fuck it up for everyone else first, well, then you're just a smart business boy.
Yeah. Yeah. So last year, this situation with like the loans and the payments was already ruled illegal. You could
probably do this with Lego. You know those like really fancy Lego sets that like fancy lads like.
Yeah.
Where it's like fucking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, no, like the ones where it's like, oh, do you want to build the Twin Towers? And like, you know what I mean? They sell you like 7,000 bits of Lego or whatever. You can spend a week building for £6,000 or something like that.
Jet fuel can't melt Lego bricks.
Yeah, could just do Lego finance. Get Jim Davidson and Carol Vorderman on the phone. I've got an idea.
Well, unironically,
the fun thing about the 911 Lego set is that you build that one in reverse.
Well, unironically, the guy that I want to talk about in the second half of the show, one of his businesses is essentially making Lego bricks for profit.
Holy shit. How does this keep happening?
I don't know, you're a fucking prophet. I don't know.
For fuck's sake, like. I'm going to go lie in that fucking paddling pool from that Tom Cruise film and see if I can spot any crimes coming.
Anyway, so like that whole business was already like ended last year. The overselling of loans, like you said, Jamie, it's essentially PPI again. This is a quote from the article in the Telegraph. Experts have compared the scale of the crisis to the PPI scandal, with some saying banks face a bill up to £16 billion for missold car loans. So, you know, that was already stage one. But last week, on October 25th, 2024, if you're listening to this later, the UK Court of Appeals went one step further and essentially blew up the entire business model that most car dealerships depend upon in the UK by ruling that, quote, any fees paid to brokers are unlawful regardless of the outcome for customers. It covers not just the commission, but things like loan arrangement fees. So even if like you were like an honest car dealer and you weren't like ripping off your customer with a bad loan, now even if you gave them a good loan, like the right sort for the right person, they are no longer allowed to receive monies for that.
Even if you sell a good loan, Jesus is allowed to come to your car dealership and like turn over all the tables.
You just turn up Monday morning and it's Jesus like wilding out in like the company kitchen.
Yeah. But I mean, no, the thing with that is though, it's like, right, so banks are on the hook for like fucking billions of pounds again. And it'll just keep happening because like you might think, well, why would they not see this coming? Why would they not go, we shouldn't do this? It's gonna backfire like it has the previous umpteen times. But the simple fact is, like, the executives who fucking ordered this, they're not the ones paying it back. They got their bonuses based on all of the loans they sold. So capitalism will keep doing this until we all, like, club together to buy a really big gun to shoot it with.
Yeah. I mean, right, so I'm affected by this.
Yes.
And I put a thing in to say, did you fuck me over? And I got an email back saying, yes, we fucked you over. And that's all you'll be hearing about it until such and such a date. And that original date's now passed and it's now been extended out to like fucking May next year. And I cannot wait to see how many thousands of pounds that I should be getting that I am not going to get.
Yeah. So like, but so from now on, like, car salesmen owe like a legal duty to inform customers of like any kickbacks or like payments they're getting from manufacturers or car loan companies, and they now have a duty of care to look after the customers' interests first rather than their own, which is like not really surprising, but that wasn't the case before, which is. But even better, this ruling isn't like normally when these things take place, and they're obviously like a big shake-up for this whole finance model in the car industry. These things like take a couple months. Like the court will say, this is no longer legal, but like we'll implement it in 6 months or a year. So the sector has some time to figure out its next moves. But this one instead takes immediate effect, which is delightful. And that means essentially the 100 billion UK car loan market is now immediately paralyzed. It's a literal credit crunch in the car loan market, which is much bigger than you might think, which is delightful. Because like now, at least 7 of the big like specialized car loan companies, like the finance companies behind it, are no longer extending car loans because they don't want to get like tripped up because of this new ruling. Because like the car loans always came with kickbacks, and now they're no longer allowed to do that. Anyway, so said, and I read Car Dealer magazine for you, which is delightful. Said leading independent car dealer, car key boss Jamie Capel, quote, this entire situation, i.e. the UK Court of Appeal saying, no, you can't no longer just like run wild and make money off customers. This entire situation screams of over-regulation and meddling where it isn't required, and a policy that has good intentions ends up having unexpected negative consequences. Will customers be less inclined to finance cars moving forward? Will lenders be less inclined to finance customers on car? Will confidence be further eroded in the car financing process? If any of that above happens, and we will see less cars sold and the market retract, which isn't good for any of us, I would say, no, it's good for loads of people if there's like not, a huge, fleet of new SUVs constantly driving around the streets of the UK. Like, it would actually be fucking excellent.
I mean, here's the thing about cars, though, right? Obviously, we know what the housing market is like. It's grossly overinflated. A house is not worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. Go fuck yourself. How much is a car actually worth? Like, well, I mean, what's the actual value of a brand new car? Is it at like £30,000 as fucking advertised, or is it actually a fraction of that? Like, how much
it usually
of that
isn't
creamed?
Like it usually isn't, because like the general thing with like if you buy like a brand new car and like the second you take possession and like drive it to your house, like the value drops by like 30 or 40% because it is no longer a new car.
Yeah. So I mean, presumably that right there is all straight fucking profit then. So maybe the economy and that needs a bit of a crash to fucking normalise. So maybe it wouldn't be a fucking terrible thing if it all fell apart and had to be picked back up for the ground.
Yeah. And also like
the car industry should just return as well, like, you know what I mean? fuck off all these fuck off all these giant like SUVs and like fucking all this other bullshit. What you need is some like absolutely clapped out banger that like you can at least like fucking fix yourself, and then you know what I mean. When you're done with it, you sell it for £200 to some dipshit who like, you know, gives it to BAMs that are crashing into a hedge without actually like filling in the logbook first. So you get like you get dunched for the fucking tow truck.
Yeah, return with a V to having one yellow door on your car. Yeah.
That was much better than like nowadays where cars all have a fucking computer in and talk to you. Fuck that noise. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just leave me alone, fuck's sake. Anyway, that's all about I want to talk about with regards to the serious news. Apart from the main story, which I have for you this evening.
Just very, very quickly on this. I think you can still, if you bought a car like within the last fucking decade or some shit, like go look it up and see. You might be able to get at least some fucking money out of these cunts. So you might as well. It'll probably less than fucking actually due, but you might as well just do it to fuck them over, and it's dead easy. Just Google it, you'll find it. Don't give money to some lawyer cunts to do it though, because they'll do fuck all but send one email for you, because that's all I've had to do.
And then like cream off 40% of what it is you could have gotten because of the no cure, no pay thing.
Fuck them.
Just watch the
parasites involved in this.
Just watch the ad break during Countdown. There's probably going to be like fucking 50 ads for this shit in there every day now.
I'm sure the date for like putting something in though does close like quite soon, so like just fucking do it if you think that it's worth, you know, looking into at least.
Hello, and thank you for choosing Podcasting as Praxis. Our podcasters are experiencing an unusually high volume of unfunny bits at the moment, so you've been placed in a queue. Your patronage is important to us, and I need to inform you of the great benefits you freeloaders are missing out on by not subscribing on Patreon. A back catalogue of premium episodes, plus
2 bonus episodes
every month, ad-free regular episodes, plus you get access to our Discord, which, in addition to being able to harass the Praxis Cast crew with your favourite Star Wars characters, will allow you to listen to all of your favourite cutting room floor moments, such as... and...
Fuck off, Alistair.
Subscribing lets us create more of these hilarious moments, so please do subscribe for just $5 a month on patreon.com/PraxisCast. And now, back to the episode.
Right. So, having said all that, let us now journey to the fine port town of Dover, where a Dutch immigrant has had some brilliant new ideas on how to revitalize the city. And part of it is essentially to deploy the Mechanicus to revitalize Dover's economy. And I can't wait to tell you about it.
All right. Okay. Does Mechanicus mean something else in Dutch, or like?
No. It means what you think it means.
Oh, deal.
So the starting point for all this is a good article in Plaster magazine by Clive Martin. So, you know, props where due. So Dover has essentially
Plaster magazine.
Yeah, Plaster magazine. I didn't make up the title.
Okay. Is it a magazine about plaster?
I don't know what else they publish, but they published Clive Martin writing about this, which is why we're here. So, like I said, Dover has not been having a good like socio-economic time of it. It's not had like the revitalization that Margate and other communities have had. But better times, like I said, are ahead. So there's a new idea by a business
Dover
group.
just one big lorry park at the minute?
Pretty much, yeah. But apparently the lorry drivers
on for a ferry to park.
Yeah, but like the ferry passengers and lorry drivers apparently not the gold mine that the good people of Dover were hoping for. Oh. But there's a new idea by a business guru called David DeWin, and it's not tourism, it's not fancy houses.
Fuck off.
Yes. It's not fancy houses. It's not, the middle class escaping London for cheaper housing. But instead, quote, he is the driving force behind TechFort, a project described on the website as the most advanced technology hub in Europe and a thriving innovation ecosystem. So, welcome everyone to the TechFort.
TechFort Boyard.
So yeah, like I said, this outpost of the Mechanicum is going to be built. It's part of a thing near Dover called the Citadel, which is the UK's largest Napoleonic-era fortress, then turned into a World War II garrison site, then turned into a borstal, and then turned into an immigration detention centre, but is now going to be an entrepreneurial whiz-bang show with a tech fort.
Right, so he's going to take an old fucking castle and put Ethernet in it. Is that the grand scheme here?
It's so much more than Ethernet, Jamie. It's
fiber optics.
You can cram so many ideas into this bad boy slap side of Citadel. This is. I watched an interview with him on ITV. Quote again: "This place used to be about protection, then about incarceration, and now it's about innovation," boasts the Min, taking me on a whistle-stop tour of the Citadel. It's already being used now, by the way, because most recently Marvel filmed some scenes of Kraven the Hunter there, where the Citadel was pretending to be a Ukrainian super prison.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Point of order. That's a Sony.
That's Sony.
Film.
Yeah.
The
mark of quality you have selected is wildly off kilter.
Imagine being the cheap shit version of Marvel.
Yeah. You can't say that without it all. Like, the real implication here is this is where they filmed Morbius 2.
Morbius 2 Escape from Dover.
Madam Web connectivity.
So before I tell you about the tech fort and what it's going to do for innovation and the good people of Dover, let me tell you a little bit about David de Min. And the first thing I need to tell you, to my own personal sadness, that he is a Dutchman, which is not good for anybody at any time.
It's de Min. Oh,
yeah.
You wrote his name as De Win earlier.
You actually said his name as De Win earlier as well.
Well, we'll keep that in. That guy can go fuck himself, and I'm not going to go back in to fix it. So, live with it, David. Not this David, other David. David DeWin, Min. Anyway, quote the Times, he is the British-Dutch son of a retired Shell oil engineer and a florist to the Omani royal family.
Oh. What a fucking combo.
I think his father was the florist, though. I don't think he was, but it's written a bit unclearly, so... So David, on the hand, did go to university, but after that, instead of getting a job or whatever, as the Times profile of him makes out, but what he basically did is network, quote unquote, by hanging out inside Michelin-starred restaurants in London and fancy bars in Kensington. So he could just meet rich people and see if he could, legitimately use their money for clear purposes.
Hmm. So he's the fancy version of the guy that sits in the pub all day trying to sell you stuff.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. Okay. So, quote Clive Martin, despite his relative youth, de Min seems to have had a few cosmetic procedures, and I wonder if he's been practicing some kind of jaw-shaping exercises. And I can attest that he probably has been.
Why is the Times talking about fucking mewing or whatever the fuck?
No, that's Plaster Magazine, but yeah,
Alright, well, whatever. Why the fuck is Plaster Magazine? Oh, no, I can't deal with it.
It's because part of this guy's shtick is that he's one of those, live forever people. He doesn't have a blood boy, but he's in that vein, essentially.
Oh, Christ.
Well, no, obviously he doesn't have a blood boy because he's looking to unite himself with the machine.
Yes, exactly. This is a bit from Plaster Magazine. In his 20s, he invented a video editing program called VelApp or ViewApp, which was apparently backed by Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak. The Min mentions Wozniak several times during our interview and on his LinkedIn, but the extent of their business relationship is unclear. Fantastically, This is not the first time he will have unclear relationships to people with big names, by the way. The article later on goes on to clarify that DeMint attended a conference called Business Rocks in Manchester, where Wozniak was the keynote speaker. But he didn't really know Wozniak. So what DeMint did is he blagged a Rolls-Royce dealership to lend him a car, which he then used to pick up Wozniak from his hotel. Then, when he arrived at the conference, he just walked out of the fancy car together with Wozniak, and then just pretended that he was Steve Wozniak's best friend for the rest of the event, essentially.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And to be fair, look, I don't know how much entrepreneuring this guy is actually involved in, because as far as I can make out, he got £25,000 from Kent Council to develop Vel app, the video editing software. And I just had a very quick check. The last Twitter update from Vel app was in 2017, and it has less than half the followers of our, financially incredibly successful podcast.
That's Brexit for you.
He did, however, manage to get his hands on over £1 million from the government of the Getting Building Fund to start the tech fort and remodel of the Citadel, because he spent just over 1.8 million on acquiring the whole fort from the MOD. So he must have put in, I'm guessing, 800k himself. Quote the Daily Mail. The rest of the funding came from money his family made buying and selling properties in Kent, as well as investment from business contacts and friends. So he was a house flipper in order to, buy this fucking fortress.
Oh, he wasn't even his family. So this is the fourth paragraph in the I struggle with... I don't struggle to save, and I will have a mortgage by the time I'm 16 or whatever.
Yeah. Quote again, Plaster Magazine. More interesting again is the role that DeMint plays on social media, because would it surprise you to learn that he posts a lot about the business success lifestyle? With his impish grin, swept-back hair, and a habit of filming GoPro videos around the Citadel, he resembles nothing else if some kind of Richie Rich figure, a crypto Lord Fauntleroy who's fallen into possession of a giant adventure playground.
Uh-huh.
So,
okay.
If you're now wondering, what does a tech fort do inside the Citadel? Because he's got two plans. One is for the tech fort and one is for the rest of the site. This is from the tech fort's own website. Quote, the tech fort presents an exciting and compelling proposition to regenerate this incredible site, serving as a catalyst to attract next-generation businesses that will create lasting positive change while also delivering substantial economic returns.
Right, okay, so nothing.
Yes, so absolutely nothing, just drivel.
Yeah.
But, maybe not quite drivel, because how is he going to do it? He's going to do it with, entrepreneurialisms and many innovations. Quote David DeMint, I bought the Citadel to build the world's most impactful innovation center with a focus on sustainability, he declares, without missing a beat. Every 6 months or so, we will invite 50 entrepreneurs from around the world to help them positively impact bits of our lives. We invite them to solve a challenge. So the next one is going to be about smart cities. The one after that might be about deep tech or ocean cleanup. And out of this, we are going to develop...
Deep tech?
I have no idea what the fuck deep tech is.
Trying to build a submarine that doesn't implode.
Finishing off the technology tree.
Yeah. I think that's what you get when you get to the end of the tree, yeah, for sure. Out of this, we have already developed a number of new technologies, he claims. We are going to build a gigafactory in Saudi Arabia using them. So what he's going to do is not so much do the innovating himself as invite 50 poor souls to, come to this former prison site and do the work for him.
He is an ideas guy.
Yes, he's an ideas guy, and he's simply an ideas guy with, an abandoned prison that he just wants to put some people in. He does a bit like, because I watched that interview with him on ITV, that the prison currently does lack, the vibe of co-work, living space, design hub, tech venture, co-creation that you would expect from such a place. So one of the jobs that he foresees is to, quote, get rid of the prison feel and bring in some luscious green forest inside what I can only tell you now is a prison block.
What are the other things, like a youth prison block?
I feel like he'd probably get a better return on investment if he just converted the whole thing into a horny jail.
Yeah. Well, ever since they closed the armory, there's been a space that's opened up.
Can Dutch guys have the credentials to operate a horny jail?
I mean, I can only say that you should never give Dutch people a license to do anything, but that's,
the one thing that this podcast can agree on in totality.
I mean, I will say so that, like, it is a challenge to turn a prison block into something that, quote, invokes inspiration. So, we've got a while to go. One of the things he does, by the way, if you look at his interview on ITV, is obviously between the levels of an ex-migration detention center, because that was its last purpose, there are nets like between the floors, as you would understand why. And one of the things he does, because they're metal nets, is he jumps over the ledge and like starts bouncing around on the nets for like fun.
Oh.
Cool. He also says, I hope that some of the more brave entrepreneurs will follow him by doing little fun skips and dances on the suicide netting, essentially. I don't know how else to fucking call that.
No, that's what it is.
But he has thought this whole business through, because you remember like the first cohort of 50 entrepreneurs that are gonna co-create ideology. He will also ask them to help do the designs. So the first 1 or 2 or maybe 5, like loads of 50 entrepreneurs will, yes, be kept in the prison block, but they can co-create the ideation to turn it into something nice.
Cool.
He does though have even better plans. This is from an article in the interview in the Daily Mail. But perhaps the most ambitious plans are for the ground floor of the prison, as Mr. DeMin revealed. What we are hoping to do is install a stage, complete with lighting and speakers, for a Dragon's Den-style TV show, where budding entrepreneurs will pitch ideas for innovation in business and technology.
Wow, what an innovative and new idea, Mr. DeMin. Wow. It's been done.
Is it still not? Has that show ever stopped? I thought that was still running, but yeah. In front of the.
I mean, the Yanks still have their version, don't they? The fucking Shark Tank or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah,
they still have that. The same thing. No one wants it.
In front of the stage will sit 5 potential investors, all well-known billionaire businessmen. I've had the green light from Sky to start production. Mr. DeMin will not confirm who will be involved, although businessman and former Dragon Duncan Bannatyne is rumoured to be among those approached.
Well, I mean,
What we do know is that the guys Googled the cast of the other show that is for some reason no longer on.
Yeah, that even like fucking British daytime TV got really fucking sick of broadcasting. Again, according to its own website, it will also, again, because I can't stress enough, it is a former prison and detention center, but currently the website can serve for your corporate getaway too, because right now it represents the most unique away day and lockdown location.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. So if you wanted to like rent out a former detention center to like, get your employees in the creative mood, you can.
Is this like another one of those those things you see where it's like all those fucking like rich blokes going for all those business people going for the fucking like drill sergeant experience where some fucking burly guy just yells at them and berates them, and it's like, you don't have to pretend this is like fucking motivational. You could just do you're into this, you could just do this.
I've just remembered those images of Wes Streeton and Mike Gapes in the prison uniforms.
Well, actually,
but is this going to be that sort of thing where it's like you go and do the prison experience, and then what can you learn about like fucking business by being locked up and presumably yelled at?
Yeah, well, you wouldn't believe what incarceration taught me about business to business sales.
Yeah.
Yeah. Business secrets of the Supermax.
In many ways, LinkedIn is just Fat Life for the terminally shy.
Actually, Jamie, you've not hit on a bad point, because part of its current income stream of the Citadel, quote the Daily Mail, is being partly funded by police forces who rent the dilapidated officers' mess to train armed counter-terror squads to clear buildings. So you don't even need to get a former drill sergeant. You could just like waddle in through a haze of tear gas.
Go in there to like, you know, do your business away day and like discover yourself and that, and then like getting shot by police marksmen.
So water cooler chat. You're just like hanging around while being tased at high volume. But in terms of its current business model, it is currently only just using like a very small portion of the massive, you know, historic crumbling fortress and prison. But that is as an art gallery. Why, you ask? Well, why that? Well, that's because David Wynn believes in a cluster theory of creativity and capitalism. The basic idea is if we get some capitalists together with some artists, they create, quote again from Plaster Magazine, a nice symbiotic relationship between art and technology.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Just get some artists in and then like some other dipshits to just train AI on them. Is that the plan here?
I mean, I can only assume so. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like the creating an art gallery is part of that £1 million government grant I was telling you about, which is also supposed to deliver, quote, space for a recording studio, bar, and market. So none of which are a tech fort, but you know, hey ho. But if you thought, you know, that was the extent of the plans for the tech fort and, you know, the overall fortress structure, you would be incredibly wrong, because according to David DeMin, it will also house a, quote, biohacking and longevity center.
Biohacking.
Okay.
Yeah, because like he's
see when I cut my toenails, does that count as biohacking?
I think so, yeah. Because like anything that makes you live longer.
It's only biohacking if there's a botched toe.
No, but I mean that's just all, you know. It's just all that like Silicon Valley blood boy shit of, you know, how to like make yourself live forever. Because David DeMin wouldn't surprise you to learn.
And do you know what it is? Right, the best way to live like longer is not do any of that stupid shit. Oh, I'm gonna like connect up a fucking Dyson Hoover to a cyclotron and just like, you know what I mean, spin all of my blood plasma at 7,000 RPM for a laugh. We'll see how that does. It's like, okay,
yeah. So how is this supposed to work? Like, what in practice? What is a biohacking and longevity center?
Well,
is it a fucking hospital where you get your blood fucking washed or something? Or is it like a bar with just twinks and you can ask for a pint of one of them? Like,
I'm gonna do this fucking joke a third time. It's a Boots.
Actually, it's at its worst. It's going to be a Boots Plus, according to DeMin in the Daily Mail. We will have hyperbaric oxygen chambers, laser infused IV drips, cryogenic chambers, and ice baths.
Whoa! Hold the fuck up! How does a laser infuse something? What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't fucking know.
This isn't Star Trek. Words have to mean things.
Yeah, like
the emergency medical hologram would never be caught dead using a laser-infused IV drip. Come on, fuck, it's not even Star Trek.
Yeah. We're gonna fit the entire fort with Jeffrey's tubes. It's like, oh, you
know. I'd love to use the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, but Goku's been hogging it for years.
Well, he's also the only person that can handle a laser-infused IV drip.
No, I'm serious. I want to know what the fuck that means. This guy got an email.
I'm telling you right now, I know exactly what that means, just purely through the vibes of it, and it is getting some saline in an IV drip, but they also shine a laser at it. Or there's a fucking LED in the bag, or some shit like that.
Fucking RGB gamer IV.
Of my Corsair brand blood plasma.
Oh, that's a fucking growth market, right? Healthy living, complete horse shit, but for gamers.
I mean, how far are we really from gamer girl blood plasma?
Well, I mean, you're closer than you think, because like there's a couple of shots of David DeMint sitting in his office in the Citadel, and he's clearly sitting on a massive gamer chair. So. Quote again, the Daily Mail: I would like the Citadel to have a wellness retreat similar to what they have in Switzerland, whereby people could stay in the hotel and use the wellness clinic, in which, this is the important bit, in which we would customize meal plans based on someone's blood type.
What?
Well, if you're a B-, you get the chicken, but if you're an A, you get the vegan special. I don't fucking know.
Oh my god! Shut the fuck up! Oh, fucking hell! Like.
This is just fucking horoscopes under a different name.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's literally all capitalism's got to offer at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Fucking woo. Woo, but with an LED light attached to it somewhere. That guy.
W-O-O-T.
That guy who got fucking like sued for like $1 trillion fucking for selling the US Army car aerials attached to a hinge, you know, that they would
yeah.
That guy was just ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
you know?
The fucking dowsing rod guy, but for bombs. Yeah,
yeah. Like honestly, he should not have done like prison time for that. Like, because frankly, if you're stupid enough to buy a car aerial attached to a hinge and think it detects bombs, then like frankly, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that guy should be allowed to sell you anything he fucking wants. Like,
yeah. Man, it's such a shame that the Captain Tom Foundation had to destroy that spa. If only they had, Captain Tom infused IV drips, they would have.
I was going to say, if only they'd fired a laser into it.
But yeah, it will, much like a Swiss wellness resort, also house a luxury hotel property.
Cool, of course it will.
It will, and also because, like, obviously this is an old fortress, and then had many other things. There's almost half this.
Gonna put a fucking ion cannon on the roof and laser infuse the moon. Why not?
Well,
Dover has evolved past the need for the Brexit railgun.
Well, I'm going to buy the fortress next door and install an iron curtain, and that's what you're going to do, motherfucker. But yeah, also because like half of the complex is essentially underground. There's like a ton of like tunnels and like underground chambers and stuff, which according to the promo reel I watched, the original basement complex also housed what it called the punishment cells for Napoleonic era soldiers, which is awesome. And the Mint simply wants to turn those.
Why would this Dutch guy buy such a place?
Well, I'm glad you asked, David. He wants to turn them into an underground cigar bar and a wine experience bar.
Cigar bar?
Yeah.
Okay, but a wine experience, I feel like you can just get that anywhere on the internet.
Yeah, much like your posting.
Can you get it on the ground from a strange man, a strange Dutch man? Actually, I have a basement. You can just come here. Like, you pay me 500 quid an hour, and I'll serve you one glass of wine in my basement.
Yeah. Don't follow the Dutchman into the underground cigar bar.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's a former punishment cell. It's fine, don't worry.
It's only former until someone gets punished in it again.
He's just going to walk out one day wearing an eye patch.
It's just... The cigar bar constantly keeps appearing in, like, Britain's most haunted buildings.
All the ghosts are laser infused.
Oh, that is an episode of Star Trek.
That's how they make them all glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Is the ghost Scottish by chance?
I love the idea of just like turning up one evening to the Citadel to get my wine experience on, and then the guy at the reception says, "Whatever you do, don't step over the salt lines." It's just like, okay, cool. But those are not the only
I'm just picturing now. Imagine if you trapped a ghost in a margarita.
Are ghosts especially attracted to the taste of freshly squeezed lime, or?
No, but you do have like the salt around the rim, don't you? So they wouldn't be able to get back out.
What if it's laser infused though?
But yeah,
you get a margarita at the bar, and then a guy in full Ghostbusters gear comes out, just fucking rattles it off the fucking
bar. fucking hate it when Slimer gets into the tequila.
Oh no, Slimer's in the cigar bar.
So yeah, the tunnel complex will not only house the cigar bar and wine experience, but that will also house the longevity complex, or as DeMid calls it in his ITV interview, the hidden spa.
Okay.
Why is it hidden?
Well, in every good James Bond movie, you know, the eternal living complex is also hidden behind a fake wall, I guess. So why not this one? But those are not the only features of this incredible place. The bid in an interview to The Express also claimed that it will have a vertical indoor farm.
Okay.
Sorry, run that collection of words by me again.
A vertical indoor farm.
What?
Well, they were very hip for a while, like an indoor farm. You know, that was like a big tech thing from a couple of years ago.
Okay, but vertical.
Yeah. Like you put like a whole bunch of like
tractor up the wall, or.
No, it's made like in its current. They do exist, but it's mainly for like they mainly exist for like salad leaves are produced in like vertical farms
like
and
the
mushrooms.
hydroponic looking things.
Yeah, like hydroponics essentially on a very big scale.
Yeah, right. All right, I'm with you.
It's the least dumb thing that we've heard about so far.
Well, it also might house in the same interview with The Express a whiskey distillery and, quote, a concert space within the Citadel's mile dry long moat. He did because I was like, hey, I've heard that before. Demin made the same claim with the bail about the concert space, but says that he is under an NDA and therefore cannot reveal the details of said concert space. So there's a lot of people who might be turning up or might be interested or rumored to be involved, but we cannot go into any of the details.
How the fuck are you going to hold a concert in a moat?
Yeah, what if it rains?
I would simply not worry about that. It's like a big moat. It's a proper, like, if you see video of it, I don't know, it's like 30, 40 meters long, and it's a big moat. You put a stage at the end of it, and then people just sort of stand in a really long corridor.
Yeah, love to stand in a queue to watch bands.
Yeah. But currently the place mainly acts as quote again Plaster Magazine, Demin's personal playground. Like I said, he's bouncing around on the suicide nets in the ITV piece. He goes for a life-lengthening run across the property every morning, and he has installed several.
Shut the fuck up, cunt.
And he has installed at least 2 swings by himself. On which he loves to swing for, photo ops, because he's kooky and mad and loves entrepreneurialism. Now, at this point, I think all of you, 3 of us and everybody listening, are, cannot help but ask, can I own a piece of the tech fort and this magnificent complex?
No, but you can rent it.
Actually, no, you can sort of own it. Quote the website, TechFort has been immersed in researching and developing a technology platform where ordinary members of the public can participate in the sale of tokenized real estate.
Oh, fuck off.
So what you can do...
It's a timeshare with crypto, features, is that what this is?
There are various...
What if we put some fuckwits absolute racket on the blockchain? There you go.
It's essentially, yes. So there's various explanations in various places. I can't really work out how it in total works because there's a bunch of overlap. But essentially, you can invest through a combination of both blockchain and NFTs, which are back in TechFort form.
It is 2024. What are you doing?
Well, this is one of my favorite bits about it, is the vertical farm was a tech idea from a couple of years ago. The blockchain was 2 years ago. NFTs were a year ago now when they were big. It's a sort of a time capsule of every shit idea in tech, because the latest thing is the longevity Blood Boy shit, and that's what everybody's talking about now. So it's this sort of weird capsule of all the shit, non-viable ideas that tech has had in the last few years. I think had this been developed 2 years ago, he would have said this is also going to house a metaverse, I'm surprised it doesn't mention the metaverse anywhere. What you can do is, you as the savvy investor, is you can have fractional ownership of the Citadel by buying a piece of it on the blockchain. And if you buy now...
I'd love to own a fraction.
Yeah. You can essentially become a landlord of a tiny fragment of the tech fort / Citadel, and then you can simply sit back and watch the returns roll in, or you can sell on either your blockchain bit or your NFT of the of a part of the site, which also has landlord rights attached to it, and then just you could sell those on. You could trade them. You could trade the NFTs that are also landlord rights.
That's cool. How many sides does this Citadel have? Many points?
A minimum of 3. It's sadly not a star fort, because star forts are cool as fuck. Yeah, so but if don't worry about it. If this works out, and I think we can all very much guarantee that it will, this model will, according to David Min, will be rolled out for future sites across the EU and the UK. When we find
off. This is just it's just the London resort, but you know what I mean? Fucking LinkedIn edition. None of it's gonna fucking happen.
No, 100,000% it will not.
Can't believe you've made me think about the London resort.
Yeah. back in the good old days.
Yeah. Wish this guy would return to the woods.
Yeah, not a single mention of having bountiful porno bushes. It's just it's a sad state of affairs, if I'm honest. But yeah, apparently, according to the ITV interview, again, he has had very exciting discussions with investors from the Middle East. Much like Duncan Bannatyne is rumored to have been approached. Any day now, this is definitely gonna come through, along with the savvy blockchain investors who are chomping at the bit to get a part of the ideation in the tech fort. I mean, he is going to need it, by the way, because according to several different pieces I've read about this, the investment costs are anywhere between 200 and 500 million pounds, and so far he's raised 1.8. So, those NFTs are going to be worth something one day.
Yeah, of course they are. They're somehow deeds to scheme of a certain shape.
Yeah. Oh, and it's also going to take about 25 years for the Longevity Spa Complex Hotel and Tech Fort to fully co-create and ideate. So, you are going to have to hold your breath if you decide to...
Yeah. But how am I supposed to enjoy the benefits of it if I don't have the longevity now?
Yeah.
See, this is a failed business model from the get-go.
Yeah.
Go back and be born more recently.
Yeah, I would simply swallow a laser pen and then turn it on. Then you'll live forever.
What you do is you just get an old CD player and you take it apart and just stare into it.
Yeah. It's what experts call beholding eternity.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the latest ideation co-creation venture, and investment model that's going to take place just outside Dover. And I can't help but think that this is exactly the kind of entrepreneurial can-do spirit, LinkedIn post that Dover needs. I think that'll really stimulate the economy. Can't help but not.
What I want to know is how long is it going to be until a Labour council has decided to give them lots and lots of funding for this?
Well, I mean, the council has already... no, that's the government fund, which by the way, was part of the reason he got it, was that... Elphick. The MP who went to... I think it was prison
Natalie
for sexual...
Elphick, yeah.
No, her husband had it first. The seat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've forgotten about that.
And he went to prison. And then she got the seat.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. And then Natalie Elphick, was instrumental in lobbying the government for this guy to get the site. So she's, you can thank her for the £1 million.
Sweet.
Yeah. But in conclusion, look, this is just... None of this is obviously going to fucking happen. This is just a scam artist, but what I really fucking, despite me delighting in the laser-infused IV drips, is this is scam artistry preying on, it's a bit like, in that way, it's a bit like the fucking British Vault site. It's a scam company with no real idea, with no, real deep pockets to actually build something that might actually be interesting. But just a guy, it's a fucking Lyle Landley. This guy just comes to town, and says, we're going to build the monorail or the Citadel or the Tech Fort or whatever. And, if you do this, we will grow.
There's good odds Starmer's government gives him money.
100%, because this is exactly like the type of scam bullshit that if the Starmer government is obsessed with
work AI into his pitch there somehow.
Exactly, all he needs to do is just cram an AI development center in the Tech Fort, and then problem solved.
Yeah, he's gonna go on one of his fucking suicide net swings with Oasis playing in the background and send a video of it to Starmer, and he's just going to get £1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, look, if we're already investing $22 billion in carbon capture...
When you go down to the secret basement punishment room, and AI decides how much of a naughty boy you've been.
Me standing in the background whispering, please ignore all previous instructions. Yeah, I mean, look, but essentially, this is just like where an insane obsession with, startup and tech and entrepreneurs, wearing Patagonia vests and pretending they know what the fuck they're doing gets you. Because it's all miracle cures, right? It's literally Lyle Lanley shit. It's like the guy comes to town and, we could build this tech fort in Shelbyville, but like it's the same shit. And it's going to keep... Or that fucking guy that we talked about with Thorough Council, the solar farm guy. They're all the same guy.
Yeah.
And as... Sorry, Jamie.
I was agreeing with you. I'm just saying, it's just, you know what I mean? It's like you just run... It's not enough anymore to just run one fucking hype train up the flagpole. You've got to do like 50 at once. So it's going to be a hotel and a fucking space laser and a prison, and a police tactical, like, SWAT training ground, and, like, a fucking concert venue in a trench, and, like, a fucking, do you know what I mean?
Cigar
S&M
Experience whiskey distillery.
Prison for cigar enthusiasts, yeah, and, like, you know what I mean?
to be fair, I see value in that last idea. See, it's not even built, and we're already co-creating, Jamie, the power of this, of the...
Yeah. Do we want to do some comment or commentary at them?
Yeah. Yes. Go on.
All right. The full title is Paris Has Fallen to the Woke Agenda.
Fuck off.
I love Paris, but you'll be rooting for the terrorists to succeed with the nuke. Is that comment or commentary at?
Is this the plot outline for the next Jerry Race War movie?
No, it's a TV show. They've done a TV spin-off called Paris Has Fallen.
I did not even know that, but I'm going to say comment because it's too recent to be Richard Littlejohn. It's not 1970s enough.
Gerard Butler is not in it. We will not be watching it. Please do not fucking ask us.
You should add David.
No,
yeah, don't. Constantly.
Yeah, at David Demin. Let's go with commentariat.
That was a comment in the Daily Mail.
Thank fuck.
The article was a cliffhanger resolved, an action spin-off, and a Black Ops drama. The 20 hottest shows to watch on demand this weekend, picked by our TV experts. And every other fucking comment, apart from the one I read out, was some variation of, you can't tell me what to do. I'll pick my own TV to watch, thank you very much. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, keep fighting the good fight there, Rage Against the Machine. I'm sure LGBT people would much prefer the government to focus on stopping the blow-up boats, as it's more of a danger to them than what's on a form. This is Labour all over. Forget the important stuff and focus on the not-so-important stuff. We want to worry about building our armed forces up to what it used to be years ago, not fiddling about with what's on a piece of paper. Is that comment or commentary?
Comment. I think that's comment.
That was a comment in the Express. Sir Keir Starmer's government adopts LGBT plus acronym across all departments post-election.
Oh, well,
yeah, as an LGBT...
politics are done then.
Yeah, as an LGBT people, I'm definitely more concerned about the blow-up boats than I am about, like, fucking government acronyms or something.
They haven't started blowing them up yet. Give them time.
I know. I swear these fucking comments are just giving me fucking brain damage.
Yeah.
As a human rights lawyer, Smarmer argued for and won the right for immigrants to receive the same benefits that UK citizens are entitled to. However, UK citizens have to wait 16 years before they can claim any benefits or get a social housing home. We have to wait 18 years before we can vote. How is an immigrant getting benefits and a home from day one equal? Is this not blatant racism? Is this not blatant racism against UK citizens? Is that comment or commentary?
I have served my time as a child. Fuck off. It's got to be comment. It has to be. The commentary cannot be that stupid.
I think
that was a comment. That was a comment on GB News.
Oh well.
Labour blasted over open invitation plan to fast track migrants from Afghanistan, Iran, and Syria. The traffickers are laughing.
Yeah, hey, I really remember when all that time when Afghanistan fell, and then like all the papers went mad saying, "Oh, we need to bring people over," and we rescued the dogs and all that stuff. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yep. Well, that time is behind us now. MI5 hasn't got the time or resources to be involved in stopping human trafficking gangs from shipping illegal immigrants across the channel. The UK intelligence service is struggling to fight a tsunami of terrorism in the UK. Is that comment or commentariat?
Commentariat.
That's commentariat.
General such and such retired.
That was a comment in the Express. Keir Starmer reveals one key thing he wants in New Deal with the EU.
Who the fuck did MI5 come into it then?
Your guess is as good as mine.
For fuck's sake.
Last one. You mean Camel Features copied the Lisa Simpson look in hope of winning? I doubt she will win without some fiddling. Those burnt votes reminded me of when a load went missing before Barack Obama's fixed win. Is that comment or commentariat? And for a bonus point, what do you think the article was about?
For fuck's sake.
It's a comment, and the article it is something, I don't know, fucking completely unrelated. I can't even begin to imagine.
Please tell me it's a comment, please.
That was a comment in the Daily Star. US government has powerful UFO disabling technology capable of grounding ships.
Well, that's the kind of technology we need in the Citadel.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently, if you want a proper funding for the XCOM fucking squad, you need to vote Trump, I guess.
Excellent. Stop the small ships.
Yeah. Well, that's your lot anyway. It was all comment this week because the columnists were just fucking taking the week off, I guess. Richard Littlejohn was entirely restrained. Giles Corran was just rattling on about a fucking dinner he had with Kemi Badenoch, and then everyone else fucking Anne Widdecombe, Carol Malone, Nick Ferrari. None of them had fucking written anything in a couple of weeks. But that didn't really help me today.
Yeah. They're all taking a week off so that they can come back to work after the fucking Yank election results come out.
Yeah. Too busy respecting the troops this week, I guess.
You'd think, but I couldn't find any news stories about poppies. I was very upset.
Yeah, that is
the
weird.
The Guardian had done a deep dive article. It was about fucking 6 pages long about has Poppy Mania gone too far, and the fucking cowards had disabled comments.
Oh,
that is.
Don't they know?
Yeah.
Don't they know? I've got a fucking quota to fulfill here.
See, you fucked up because I don't know. Can you search a link on Twitter?
Oh, I went to the Guardian long read Twitter account, and there was 2 fucking replies.
Shameful.
I know. I don't know what this country's gone to the fucking dogs, mate. It's disgraceful. Gonna join Danny Dyer's secret militia.
Please no.
Yeah, fucking. I did search a couple of newspapers for Poppy, and all I got were columnists called Poppy.
Yeah, no, that shit sucks.
I briefly toyed with the idea of doing a Poppy themed one where it was all just fucking quotes from articles written by Poppy some fucker or other. But it turns out all of these journalists called Poppy are all fucking raging turfs, so fuck the lot of them.
Yeah.
Well, we've always got next week. War Christmas isn't for just less than a week, like the actual day of War Christmas, not the 12 days of War Christmas, obviously.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Next week, though, we have episode 300. We won't be doing
we won't be doing comment or commentariat next week because it's like episode 300.
Yeah, it's a genuine podcast special event.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Get excited for the cultural committee that's coming your way.
Yeah, get fucking hyped. Yeah. It's the thing that no one of you has been clamoring for, but you'll see. In your secret heart of hearts, you have always wanted it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
start wildly speculating on like social media now about what it is, and at David.
Yeah, all the time. It's his favorite thing. He wants to know he's appreciated, and also
I fucking don't. I know it's a lie.
Yeah. And also, please rate, like, and subscribe to our podcast on whichever channel you use it for. Use it on
Patreon.com/Praxis, guys. £5 a month, you get bonus episodes. Bye.
That's the sales pitch of all time. Bye-bye.
Buy shirts from some place or other.
PraxisCast.tmail.com.
That one.
Bye.
See ya.